Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Kendrick with MikeChat.com, and welcome to your Thursday Live at 5. I've got a special guest today. Hey, Brickey.
What's up, guys? You want to take a lap around Disneyland? I do. Let's go.
Let's do this.
I'm so excited. Yeah,
man, we're so excited to have you here.
Dude, I'm excited to be here, man. Just love talking Disneyland, always with people that love it like I do.
Let's flip this camera around so everybody gets to see what's ahead of us.
You know what's so wild? Is that the plaque wasn't there on opening day.
Yeah.
And to all of us that have always known it to be there, just how crazy would it be to not have that plaque there? Like that mantra, it's not that many words, but it says everything.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to imagine, like, on day one, that just wasn't there to flirt with people like, guess what? Your mind's getting ready to get blown.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It would seem so out of place if that wasn't there now.
Yeah.
So, were you here? You've been here the last couple of weeks, because you're here pretty much every week, right?
I'm here at least once a week.
Yeah.
At least once a week. And that is a blessing. I fully realize that is a blessing to say that I'm here at least once a week.
So, now last week, it didn't seem like it was crazy busy. This week, for some reason, it seems like it's a little bit fuller. I know that we have Labor Day coming up, so it's a little bit busier. What do you think of the crowds today? Is it pretty...
It was really, really mellow this morning, and it made me realize that I know a lot of parents will like sign their kids out of school to go to Disneyland.
Oh yeah,
but they probably won't do it on the very first week
right.
of the school year. So it was really quiet earlier. But the number one indication that Disneyland is going through some attendance problems is when I saw they put Lightning Lane on sale.
Oh yeah,
I was like, whoa, we have rolled into a new era of desperation.
What is going on here? Oh look, there's Cruella.
She's the best.
She is awesome. You know,
she's just cruising around in the fire truck, heckling people from the back. It's so good.
She tried to buy my service dog once.
Hey, she knew that dog would make a quality jacket.
Oh. And they got the new window for Lily and Disney.
And the idea that the painting is like she's sitting out there just painting their apartment.
Yeah.
I love that storytelling, that visual connection.
And I took some close-ups, and I thought that, like, you know, the musical notes and like the sheet music and everything was amazing. The whole concept of how they put that window together I thought was awesome.
Oh wow, the omnibus is running at 5 o'clock? That's rare.
Right?
That's so cool.
Oh.
Can we get anybody away? Oh, we got one! That guy ruled.
So the first thing we got to do, we got to check out this new Moana window here.
Omnibuses.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right. So the first thing I want to show folks today. I mean, we already knew about the new Zootopia window. It's been running. It's not 100% though, because the train's not running across the back right now.
Oh yeah. This is so hard to see during the daytime.
Yeah. I mean, they did a great job with this window, but the window next door was curtained for quite a while, and they finally have it. Let's take a look and see what they have here. Moana.
I love this one.
There's Hey, my spirit animal.
Dude, what a character. Just literally what a character.
I think the way they set this up was actually really cool.
Yeah, I love the projection of the I guess it was a manatee or whatever. They just
the what is it called? Ray, the manta ray.
Manta ray.
Yeah. So it's the grandmother. And then Maui's hook lights up.
Maui's kind of juicy from behind. he's really pushing it out. I love that for you.
Let's take a look from the front here.
I am a little surprised that the boat's not like rocking or kind of like, it feels like it should be on a lever kind of going up and down, right?
So I'm looking at it, right? I'm wondering if it's supposed to, because it looks like there's something underneath. And if you look in the back, the island is back there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can just see the top of it. I'm not sure there's supposed to be any moving elements, but I agree.
There's also conveniently a seam that runs right underneath it where the mechanics would be.
Oh, yeah.
And like a fun fact for people that maybe don't know this is that every window on Main Street opens out like a door.
Right.
So when it's time for them to do the window, they literally, you can literally, like, they just take a key and open it up.
Yeah.
And that gives them all of the space to work in there versus traditionally in retail, you have to do your window from the backside in.
Right.
Which then you're like working in a box. So
Yeah.
the fact that they put that on all the windows is like such a cool little design detail.
Definitely. I think it makes life a lot easier for maintaining these windows.
Right here, there's always a lock, little latch. So whenever the team does this, they can just literally open it up, have their whole cart out here on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Vacuum it out, do all the work, and then they lock it back up. That is such a great hack that all the windows are actually doors.
Oh, yeah.
That's Disneyland, though, man. Infinite details.
I mean, that's just it. Disneyland is known for its innovation.
That's what sucked me in. You know, it's like you get brought here when you're not from Southern California, and you're like, wait a minute, this is different than anything I've ever experienced in my life. And
Oh, yeah.
coming through here for the first time as an adult, I didn't come here as a child. So coming here as an adult that's already been working as a creative professional for 2 decades, you're like, oh my God, this is a living art piece that I'm walking into.
Oh, yeah.
You just see it from a completely different perspective.
It's more like, because, you know, Disneyland, I mean, there's a reason why they call them the employees cast members.
Yep.
This is on stage, you know, but it seems like it's so much more than just being on stage. You're transported. I mean, we walk through the berms, and you're in a whole different world.
Oh, it's so transformative. It's amazing. And you know, it's like when you go to the only international park I've been to so far is Paris. We're working on changing it. But when I went to Paris, the first thing that I noticed that was missing, even though it's beautiful and Tony Baxter just nailed it, you realize when you go to one of the international parks how Disneyland and also Magic Kingdom, it's a multi-generational product.
Oh, yeah.
So like everybody through here, they're celebrating with their kids the way that their parents did with them, and that connective tissue, that makes such a huge difference.
Right. Well, I think it's what makes Disneyland such a household name.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, you know, it's been around for so long, and so many people have been here. And also, you have the generational, the changes in the park itself.
Yes.
You know, now we don't have the House of the Future anymore.
We have some of the base, but we don't have the house.
Some of the yeah, right, just a little bit. Even a little bit of Skull Rock, which I'm concerned about because it's scrimmed up with the rest of Storybook Land.
Yeah, I mean, Monstro will come back.
Monstro for sure will.
Yeah, like all of that needs to return for sure.
Yes.
Funny thing about House of the Future, since you brought it up, there was a really cool nod to it in the new Fantastic Four film.
Oh.
That their kitchen had some of the same top-loading appliances and storage.
Yeah.
That was 100% taken from House of the Future. So that was just one of the few Disneyland references that were thrown in there that were just amazing to catch.
That's awesome. I think we'll take a walk around the partner statue here real quick because I know we haven't seen too much of these pumpkins. There's one that's a little bit different.
Oh yeah.
And we'll take a look and see which one has changed. We'll see if our viewers can point out which one has changed.
Oh, they still have the production towers up from the Princess recording the other night.
Yeah, they did. I believe that was last night, just before park closing.
Operation Royalty is what that permit was filed underneath.
Oh, that's cool. That's creative.
I didn't know what was happening, but I knew that there were going to be a couple of towers that Disney paid $25,000 to put those there.
Oof. Okay, right. So we have Buzz, right?
Buzzy Buzz, returning classic.
Roger Rabbit, probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell.
Sorry.
Excuse us.
Excuse us. But I don't know. Does this one look the same to you? Is this one new?
So I was curious, would they go human on there, or would they put the alligator's name is Lewis, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of thought they might go like cartoon character versus sculpting a person because that can get a little bit tricky sometimes. So
it can.
I was curious like what they would do, but they got her in there, which is interesting to see that we are now full on Bayou country.
Yep.
But this is my plea, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think for your land to get a pumpkin in the hug, your land has to have some Halloween decorations.
Yes.
I think that's how you get your pumpkin in here, is you agree that you're going to celebrate. Because not all of these lands have actual Halloween celebrations.
No. Well, and here's the thing, like Bayou Country, the only nod to Halloween they have is that seasonal jar in Ray's Berets that they change out, which I mean definitely makes them celebrating.
Yeah. But like, what's the cost of putting some pumpkins and some bales of hay in the back of Tiana's delivery truck?
That's just it. How perfect would that be?
It would
It's
be
easy.
awesome. And that's the thing. Like, you got to think about it. People get off the ride. Oh, we just rode the ride, so we're at peak like euphoria. We just had a great time, euphoria. And then here's the vehicle celebrated. Let's rip a pic here. You know, like you want to give people those little magic moments that sneak up and surprise them.
Absolutely. Now, there is one that I'm still surprised about. I mean, of course, we got Woody in Frontierland.
He is
and
our resident cowboy.
We saw Woody and Jesse earlier greeting guests. Jack Skellington in New Orleans Square, which is fitting for a Haunted Mansion holiday.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Tarzan. You know, I love Tarzan. But, I mean, is Tarzan still in Adventureland? I haven't seen him.
No.
I'm kind of wondering, my thought on this would be, instead of Tarzan now, maybe like a tiki bird, like maybe the Barker bird or something.
Fans would go nuts.
I think they would.
It'd be amazing. I watch a lot of people's old home videos. And sometimes watching old home videos at Disneyland, I can find footage of things, and then that kind of triggers the idea, well, there's footage of it, so let me reverse engineer that into like a video or a story.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things I discovered in like the early 2000s, Disneyland had a very attractive Tarzan. My man was ripped in the parade wearing a loincloth. And I showed it to my wife. My wife goes, whoa, that is Tarzan. I'm like, this actor was amazing. So shout out to old hot Tarzan, wherever he's at today.
All right, so we're going to make our way back towards like the Fantasyland area. But as we're heading back there, Brickey, why don't you tell us a little bit about your YouTube page and what you do? And, you know, because, I mean, we get fairly in depth, but dude, you put stuff under a microscope.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm a huge fan of Mice Chat. I start out every Monday reading the weekly report there. It's my favorite way to get going. By the way, you did the photography this week like you do every week?
This week was not mine. This week we had Andy and Brian.
Got it.
And those guys are phenomenal.
There was one photo in there that they did where they shot through one of the purple Halloween trees at Carthay Circle.
Oh yeah.
And they got the focal range was just right to where the lights were just like little purple like pixie dust, and it just was such a phenomenal photo. So yeah, when I decided to get into the Disney like independent creator space, I wanted to bring something different. And the thing that always like seduced me about this park was its level of attention to detail, and how if you're a designer, you can just see so many of the tricks that we pull off at the artboard. You can see it here in the real world, like the perfect framing right now of Matterhorn.
Right.
And how these trees are all perfectly manicured so that it is completely framed that right now this is our only reality that we see.
Right.
But at the same time, over here, camouflaged out, is the projector for the Matterhorn.
Right.
That most people will never turn back and look at until later on tonight when it's hollow screens. Then they're like, whoa, they even can put projectors up there.
Yeah.
And that makes a magic trick, right? And also, too, for example, look how short these beams are in front of the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
When we get around to the back, the beams are a lot taller.
Here, speaking of, let's go ahead and walk this way so we can kind of make our way around. That way we're not backtracking too much. This is actually one of my favorite spots to photograph. I like to get down low with that ultra wide lens and shoot up. And one thing we have to pay attention to is see if all the all the waterfalls are working, because recently, since we came back, since the park's reopened, they're only running one fountain at a time.
Yeah, and it's one of those little attention to details that when that water's not running, it just makes everything feel so different. So with my channel, though, I wanted to bring a channel that people could watch, that they could have a seasoned designer kind of explain to them the bones of Disneyland, how it's designed to create the heart and the art of the park. And my overall goal was that if people watch one of my videos or all of my videos, that when they came to the park, they'd be able to tell their buddy or their partner, like, hey, check it out. Like, this exists because of X, Y, and Z. And it was hard at the beginning. Oh, here it comes. Love that. It was hard at the beginning to find an audience for it because the algorithm only rewards what already exists.
Yeah.
But in the last couple of years, it started to break out, starting to find an audience, and starting to find people that care about sort of the history of the park. And so kind of my catchphrase is, I study the past so we can better predict the future.
Right.
And my videos are always in one of those two timelines. But I just love it. I love coming here. I'm always honored that anybody watches anything.
Well, your videos are great.
Thanks, buddy.
So see here, this is where, again, this is what's kind of a little bit disappointing. I'm not sure what the issue is, but they were talking about having all the waterfalls running again, but I guess they're not quite there yet. Maybe we'll get there soon.
You know, one of my absolute favorite Walt Disney stories is that before the Matterhorn was here, we're going to tell the stories as if it happened, because we don't know what's folklore and what's real. But there's this documented story where a cast member sees Walt sitting on a bench right over here, and he's just staring into the sky.
Yeah.
Because the Matterhorn's not here yet. And they go, what are you looking at, Walt? Looking at my mountain. And just the idea of him sitting over there, like kind of trying to put it together in his head.
Yeah.
That's the man in a nutshell. Right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
Right? Just the dreamer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so tell me, Submarine Lagoon,
Yeah.
one of my favorite views in the park.
May the lagoon never get taken away.
I really hope not.
Subs could leave tomorrow, but may the lagoon never get taken away.
I think they should put the mermaids back out there.
Oh my God, what a classic. I mean, for some of these throwback parties, that would literally be the type of thing that would make certain members of the Disney community literally lose their minds.
Oh, I know. Absolutely.
They've done 80s night, 90s night. They should do like opening night or 60s night. That would.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I would buy that ticket in a second.
I would too. Because I know they have their retro night, but I don't think the retro night doesn't go back that far.
No. It's like, whose retro are we talking about, bro?
Right? Well, we're like, what, 3 generations in now? 4? Now, this one, though, here, this is an attraction that I could see going away. But they keep talking, well, we haven't heard it for a while. They're talking about converting this to electric.
And no, that was a big, like, drop, like, about a year ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a little over a year ago. Yeah, I mean, that would have been really impressive 5 years ago.
Right.
Electric vehicles are such a normal thing now that it almost feels like, once again, it's Tomorrowland's running behind, you know?
Right.
But for a little fun fact, I measured out just how big the Utopia is.
Uh-huh.
And then I measured it against other things in the park. So let's just do this exercise real quick. If you come to the park and you don't ride Utopia, you just skip a huge amount of land.
Yep.
If you do come to the park and you do ride Utopia, you didn't spend any extra money. And that's what we know Disneyland looks at ultimately.
Yeah.
So this plot of land, you could fit all of Main Street USA in.
Mm-hmm.
It all fits in there. So think about Main Street USA, how much money it's generating, how many people are over there, and how many people are riding the Utopia right now. And also, all of Toontown fits in here, minus Mickey and Minnie's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway building.
Yes.
An entire land could fit where these little cars are going around. And that new land could include a car ride.
Absolutely.
So it's like we don't have to totally get rid of it, but what a waste of space.
I do kind of miss the old, the old Chevron cars.
Oh yeah, I mean, and Utopia too. Off the top of my head, it's like we're at 5 different versions of Utopia.
Yeah, I think so.
Because there was 3 of this, and now this one, and then there was Junior Utopia.
I was going to say, there were 2 Utopia tracks for a while.
Yeah. There were 2 Utopia tracks.
And they merged them into one.
But there was the original day one, so that gets us at 3. There's
Right.
this one, which is 4, and then there was, hate to say the word, but Midget Utopia was the official name.
Yeah.
It's over at Fantasy. And the only way you can tell when you're looking at old footage is those cars had 2 steering wheels.
Yeah. And then recently, they're going to make some changes because they recently had the one that came off the track. But, I mean, that happens pretty often, and they get it back on the track and get it moving again pretty quickly. But
I mean, the cool thing about Utopia, though, versus the Tomorrowland Speedway in Magic Kingdom, is it is a pretty epic adventure. Like, when you get out there and you haven't done it for a while, you're instantly like, man, this track just keeps going and going and going. Like, it's a pretty sizable car attraction.
I noticed the one at Walt Disney World looks a bit shorter.
It's a lot shorter, but it does have 2 cool things working for it.
Okay.
One, it has stands.
Uh-huh.
So you can sit in the stands and watch the race.
Yes.
It's like a very cool, like bizarre 1971 detail. And then the other thing is it actually gets decorated for the holidays.
Yeah.
And you can drive on the Utopia, and you're driving through Christmas, which with our Utopia, with all the trees, if they decorated that thing, 2-hour wait.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're in a pretty significant spot here right now, right?
Love it, yeah.
This is one of my favorite places to go and cool off. You got plenty of shade, there's seats when they're available, but the thing is this is really kind of dead space for the most part.
For sure.
And
that's one of the reasons why it stays.
Right, but we also know that it's a large chunk of real estate, just like Autopia is.
Yeah.
So, and we've talked before about how, there's the fan theories that this is going to become, Arendelle or something like that, or,
sure.
or even Beauty and the Beast. What do you think?
Well, I think that it's in Disney's favor to keep the body of water here, because this is all part of the original water system, where this water is tethered into over on the Storybook Land canal boats,
Yep.
and then it works its way over to the castle. So to get rid of the water creates a lot of difficulty. That's why when they drained it, they did leave this little bit here for the dock. So it's kind of one of those pieces of the park that's on pause, because the cool thing about kinetic energy is it ties everything together.
Right.
The bad thing about kinetic energy is you have to untie it when you're done with it.
Right.
So right here, it's one of those moments where okay, we want to put a new attraction in. But now if we take out Utopia, we've just unlocked a massive amount of land. And also if we put a new attraction in, do we have to reroute the monorail, which is, something they desperately do not want to do.
Right.
So the reason why when we look at lands like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and they balked in the 11th hour on doing the creature ride, where you would ride around the land of a creature. The reason why Cars Land, Galaxy's Edge, all these modern lands, Pandora, out at Animal Kingdom, the reason why kinetic energy doesn't exist anymore is because of the lesson that they learned right here.
Mm-hmm.
When you put it all together, you got to tear it all back apart. And one piece is connected to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So now all these modern single IP lands that some people love, some people hate.
Yeah.
That's why I love Disney, because everything's up for debate. Disney's like sports with no sports.
Right.
But the reason why everything now is like plug and play is because if Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run doesn't work, they want to have the option to take that out and put something else in. But if Smuggler's Run, or everybody wants the Ewok, what's the bike called?
Oh,
I'm having live stream.
Yeah, the
speeder bike.
Speeder bikes, yeah.
Everybody wants a speeder bike that goes all the way around the land. That's great until they don't want a speeder bike going all the way around the land. Then you end up with the people mover.
I was going to say, oh wait, where's the people mover track
It's
at?
right over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of fan theories, but the problem with Tomorrowland, as I see it, literally from this edge all the way over to Astro Orbiter, if you move one piece, you kind of got to move it all.
Right.
So that's why it just sits on pause.
And that's something I would like to see, because I was in Walt Disney World last week. I was at Magic Kingdom over the weekend, and I love seeing the rockets up on top of the people mover track.
Dude. The rockets up there with the people mover, I always tell people, I'm like, I know maybe you live next to Disneyland and you have an annual pass. You're like, why should I fly across the country to go to a Disney park?
Right.
Because there's so much old school Disneyland that's still alive there.
Yeah.
And you can kind of catch a buzz of what Tomorrowland's supposed to be, because theirs isn't perfect, but it's a lot better than the remnants that we have here.
There's still a lot of kinetic energy there.
Yeah. It's still a very alive park. There's a lot to do, and Tron only added to that, and shout out to Imagineering for when they did do Tron,
mm-hmm.
that they saw that it was important enough to make sure that you could walk under it to go to Fantasyland. The fact that Tron isn't a dead end,
right,
and there's that passageway where you can walk underneath it to get over there, it's so important.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this part of the park, and why they're doing so many other projects first, is because it's a lot easier and this is a crazy thing to say, but it's a lot easier to pull out the eastern parking, build a new parking garage,
Oh yeah.
blow out the back of DCA, put in an Avatar attraction, than it is to figure out how to fix all of this, which is wild.
Absolutely. Oops. Sorry, apparently we're having a little bit of audio trouble, so I'm trying to fix it here real quick. I think we're back up.
These wireless mics are great till they're not.
Right? Oof. All right, let's
keep moving.
keep moving. So we're coming up on another attraction, and this is part of our construction land, part of our update that we're coming up on, but Storybook Land. And I know you've seen the permits, and I haven't really looked at them too much, but it seems like they're going to be doing some stuff here, maybe adding some things.
Yeah, it seemed like they're going to be putting in like a couple of new sort of columns or pillars that might go over the track. It looked pretty extensive, and you know, this is a Disneyland original. We're the only, like, right? There's not one of these in, I mean, I know there's not one in Florida. I don't think there's one internationally.
I don't think so. Maybe one of our viewers would know, but I believe this is the only one. And I know when it started out, it was not like this at all. It was just gardens.
Trash.
Yeah.
It was literally like mud banks.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you know, they built Disneyland in an incredibly tight window.
They did.
And I admire the idea of like, let's just get it done and get it out there.
Oh, somebody's asking, what is Brickey's YouTube channel? It's Hey Brickey.
Yeah, Hey Brickey is my main channel where you can see all my deep design videos. And then if you want to hang out with me daily, you can find me over at the Brickey vlog. But start with Hey Brickey first. That's where I put all my hours.
It's a lot of work. That's it. Putting this stuff together is no simple task.
No, every video over there literally takes me a week. And as soon as I publish Saturday's video, I go into working on the next week. So I work on them all throughout the week. But if a story excites me, it doesn't feel like work.
We're going to back up here real quick just so we can get a good view of what we were talking about a little bit ago. So it's still scrimmed up. We haven't really seen any changes. Now, a couple weeks ago, we did see they were removing railroad ties from Casey Jr.
Yeah.
And now Cinderella's castle is covered up with scrim. One thing interesting I pointed out, usually they're pretty good with these pictured scrims.
Yeah.
I don't see Monstro there.
No, this one's, and I also don't, like, what's happening over here? Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild. But you know what I would love for them to fix? Is that, you know, they recently redid Dumbo in like the last, like, what, 5-7 years?
Yeah.
The back of Dumbo is just a blue building.
It is.
It has no story, no facade. It doesn't even have any like topiaries growing on it.
Right.
I really would love for them to use this moment to do something to the back of it, because it's literally just an eyesore on an attraction that is close to perfect as perfect could be, you know?
Definitely, I agree.
I love that ride. It's so good.
So one of the things we like to point out, this is where we consider some of the pinch points in Disney for like crowds and stuff.
This is the worst one.
And even with the walls here, like today it seems pretty light.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. Like we were walking down Main Street, it definitely seemed busier. But I also know the crowds are going to get a little bit heavier tonight because DCA closes at 6.
You get the Oogie Boogie drop over, right?
Yeah.
Over.
And it doesn't look like they haven't replaced any of the tiles on Toad yet.
Yeah, you can still see they have those bumpers up there to catch anything before it hits somebody in the head.
Hey, I mean, I guess quick fix, right? So as we walk through, we'll take this back way here because there's really not much new to see here in Fantasyland. But I want to make my way over to the Rivers of America.
Yeah.
Because there's some cool stuff. I know you have some ideas on that.
I mean, the thing that impresses me so much about Rivers of America is, you know, when you work as a creative professional, end product is impressive. But what makes end product so impressive is sometimes that somebody approved it. You know, because you and I could spitball all day long and come up with ideas.
Right.
But to actually get it approved, to get a budget for it, to get it built, and to pull it off, that's a whole other level of accomplishment.
Big process. Oh, yeah.
And the fact that some brave soul said, hear me out. What if every night we turned our river into an outdoor amphitheater and performed 2 nightly shows?
Yeah.
And they approved it, and they did it. And there's men and women over there right now who I refer to as the Disneyland Roadies that are building a show that will happen twice tonight. And then they're going to tear it right back down. And you think about the manpower and that transformation, that is so uniquely Disneyland. That a river that you've walked past all day long, suddenly at 9 o'clock tonight becomes an outdoor amphitheater.
And this is kind of where I think Disneyland almost, I don't want to say surpasses Walt Disney World in this aspect, because they actually have a dedicated amphitheater for Fantasmic.
You know what I refer to that as?
What's that?
Fantasmic in captivity.
There you go.
Because
I was going to say Fantasmic Light.
It's literally in captivity. Like, this Fantasmic is running wild.
Yeah. Unfortunately, now it's without the dragon, but it is what it is. I guess we can hold hope someday that maybe one will return.
Hopefully.
But you know, it's still a show. It's still a great production. I mean, I miss the pyro from it, but it still packs the people in.
And it is hard to beat that magic moment when the Mark Twain comes by, loaded with characters.
Oh yeah.
It's like the most characters you'll see on your entire day at Disneyland. And there's just something about that moment. You and I have seen it 100 times, still going to make the hair stand up on your forearm.
Yeah. Oh,
you know? And those characters, they're selling it. They're so into it. They're waving those handkerchiefs back and forth. Like, it's just peak Disney magic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's like, you know, whether you waited out your spot or got a dining package, you made that a priority, or whether you're just getting off the mansion and you just catch it out of the corner of your eye.
Right.
It's magic nonetheless. And that's why I love that it's just there in the wild. And people that actively didn't try to see it still consume some of it, you know?
Right.
Like, one of the greatest magic tricks, and you know it's going to happen because you've seen the show 100 times. But you look around going, I don't think these people know that a pirate ship just got snuck around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And when that cannonball goes off and all the first timers jump, pure Disney magic.
Well, that's just it. Like, I mean, I know it's coming and it still makes me jump.
Yeah.
So here's, we can see one of the pumpkins from the Pluto. What is it called? Pluto's.
The scavenger hunt that they do? Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got one of the pumpkins over here. I'm going to zoom in so we can see it a little bit. The Moana one.
Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit.
There you go.
Trademark.
Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. So we're going to start seeing those up around the resort more. Although this water is interesting, but
yeah, obviously not connected to the rest of the water.
No, a little bit of the, you know, the waterfall was down for so long that I think some of this water has had a good algae bloom that they're struggling to get under control.
You know, I kind of like go back into Disneyland's past and I read old newspaper articles and you know, just kind of try to find the news from wherever I can. And the story of them removing Cascade Peak is one of the most depressing stories because it literally was taken down because they just weren't doing annual maintenance.
Right.
And it got so bad they just decided to rip down the mountain, replace it with a pile of dirt. And it's so funny that in the Walt Disney show now on Main Street, it talks about how Disneyland's just going to keep getting more beautiful. And right when he says that, the camera's that aerial view right over Cascade Peak. I'm like, or
maybe not. They're going to change some things. It's just going to look different.
Yeah.
One of my favorite spots to photograph.
Oh, dude, every time. Although this is a hard spot to photograph because it's always full of people. People are moving. It really bottlenecks up here, so it can be a tight spot.
And then every once in a while we have a character. We'll get Pocahontas out here greeting guests on the bridge, and but that's kind of how they keep things moving. You know, they bring out the characters. You'll see Buzz and Woody out here, or not Buzz, Jesse and Woody out here.
So do this series from time to time called Disneyland Oddities. And it's kind of like when I'm doing research and I come across something that feels just so insane, but it's not enough to make its own video, I just go, that's an oddity. And I sort of put it in its own little bucket. And not all of them can I say are true, but if there's people that are publishing it and saying it, I want to at least tell my audience it's a possibility.
Right.
And there's this working theory that this hill that you and I just walked over here is actually an animatronic graveyard.
Oh no.
That when they took the old animatronics from the mine train, they just threw some of them in the ground and put concrete over the top. Now, I'm not saying that's true, but I'm saying I hope it's true.
Oh gosh, that would be wild.
Because like right where there's that tunnel that looks like a tomb, if you could just imagine that there, even if it's just like one old bear that's your deer that's underneath there.
Yeah.
Just knowing that next to Big Thunder Mountain, which is one of our haunted attractions, just thinking that there's a possibility that maybe one animatronic is buried under the concrete, it warms my little Halloween heart.
Speaking of Halloween, so not only do we have Halloween being celebrated, but we also have Dia de los Muertos going on here in the garden. So people are meeting the characters from Encanto
right now,
and they have the what are they called again? The I can't remember what they're called. Here, let's go this way real quick. They have the memorials for the. What was that, Ando?
Top bunny, okay.
Ofrendas.
They also have all the bread you can eat. Unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah. Now on the other side, they have an ofrenda for pets. Let me zoom in because I don't want to cross the crowd here. Forgive me. There we go.
This is one of the things they do that I really, really love, you know? And, you know, for some of us, it's just like cool decorations. But for other people, it's their culture.
Absolutely.
And you really can recognize when it's being celebrated that way. And some of the things I've seen back here, just like, it's the memories that you carry in your heart from Disneyland, you know? And I love when it can cross those moments.
And they do a really good job also on the DCA side of this as well, where they celebrate.
Oh, Plaza de Familia? Yeah.
Which I think is great. We'll keep moving here. So that's the decorations on this side. They also have the Halloween tree, of course, which we visit every year.
Woo, love that.
Yeah, let's go take a look at that. Last week I showed it, and they actually had the plaque in place, and that's one of the iconic Halloween spots here in the park.
Absolutely. And it also makes everybody who cares go, why am I not doing this to the tree in my front yard?
Right?
Yeah, it's so well done. It looks beautiful at night. And I kind of got to think that for some people that just come around the turn after a long day, they don't know that it's going to be here. And that's when the magic's the best, when it just sneaks up on you.
Especially in the evenings.
And it's so cool, you know, like Ray Bradbury had so much to do as a lead consultant on Spaceship Earth, helping them put together that story and kind of round all that out, you know?
Yeah.
So even though a lot of his contributions to the company were out east, to have a little something to celebrate them back home is pretty great.
Absolutely. Let's walk over towards the river because I want to kind of, I know it's not Disneyland, but I was in Walt Disney World last weekend and the river's drained.
I was there for the last day, you know, because I love those fan moments. And I can see the vision of why they're removing it.
Right.
And I think you could look at it, you're more than welcome to look at it as like, oh, it's the end of an era, because it absolutely is.
For sure.
Maybe that's your version of Magic Kingdom and that breaks your heart, and I get that. But looking at it from like a designer and trying to look forward, it's actually the beginning of Magic Kingdom, like really pulling away from being in the shadows of Disneyland and kind of creating its own story, you know? With the addition of Tron and now that, it will start to feel much different than just a clone of the original.
Most definitely.
But
kind of comes into its own. Well, I mean, it's always been somewhat of its own, but again, like you said, in the shadows, like I could see that.
And so that's going to make it very different. You know, it's going to just be like so obvious now that it's kind of come into its own once all that gets done. But it's a wild chapter, man. And once again, somebody pitched it and they're like, yeah, well, because it's removing that river and taking the island out is an insane amount of work.
I was going to say, because you know what else is a wild chapter is Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah.
I mean, so much has changed. And it went from Tom Sawyer's Island to Pirate's Lair, but there's still elements of Tom Sawyer in it. Unfortunately, the fort is gone. The teeter-totter rock is gone. And you were telling me earlier, it's definitely a generational change.
For sure.
I mean, from kids from our generation, and the generation before, I mean, I remember they used to have fishing in this river.
Dude, when they did the fishing off the docks, it was a logistical nightmare because people I don't want to carry a fish all day. They just like throw it in the bush. And so the whole park started to stink because people were just stashing fish whenever, like, I don't need to carry this around. What am I doing? And the crazy thing about Disneyland is they tried it again at the Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah.
So it's like, just like when they brought back the flying saucers.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't work the first time, but maybe it'll work the second time as giant tires.
What is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said in the voiceover of my video where I went out there and I documented the last day of the Rivers of America out there, Magic Kingdom opens up in 1971. And if you were a kid during that time period, and I was, adults told you to go play outside. And that's the world that we lived in. And that's not the same for kids today.
Right.
And the park should always honor its history, but it should also be forward-facing to the next generation. And so Tom Sawyer Island, as cool as it is to us, it's just not reflective of today's population and today's kids.
Right. Well, and it's kind of like, how Splash Mountain was even.
Yeah.
Just not a topic that today's kids would be familiar with, that story so much.
Yeah, I'm from a generation that I saw Song of the South in the theater growing up in the South. And, it just, times change and the park needs to reflect that.
For sure. Now, funny you bring up the year that Walt Disney World opened up. A little bit of a shameless plug. My parents got married the same year that Walt Disney World opened, and today's actually their 54th anniversary.
Wow, what a blessing. What a blessing to have a best friend for 54 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Or maybe, I don't know, I've never met him, so maybe it's not a blessing. I'm going to assume that it's a blessing.
I would say it is. All right. I love that view of the Mark Twain, kind of the sun's going down, he's starting to head down a little bit. And you see that little that shimmer off the bow.
Golden hour at Disneyland is and then if you can do golden hour in the park proper, and then for that like last little bit of blue, that's when Galaxy's Edge looks its best.
Absolutely.
It looks the most outer world at that blue hour. It's so awesome over there. When I was working on my video about the old police department that was in Main Street right when you come in. It's one of the least documented buildings because it's right in your blind spot. It's where the VIP Tours is at now,
Right.
Nobody ever took photos or video of it because they'd always spin their camera over here and then they would stop. And I even started out the video going, when you're looking back into the past, and you go over to DaveLandWeb.com, and Dave doesn't have a photo, you're in a bad spot. You've gone deep. And Dave was like, oh my God, how did I not have this? And so he went through his entire collection and found some photos.
Oh, wow.
Which was a cool, kind of community moment,
Yeah.
But that was originally Marty Sklar's office. And Marty tells this great story about he would leave his door unlocked because if a guest opened the door, he wanted to meet the guest and understand how it looked from their perspective. So this guy opens the door and he goes into Marty's office and he goes, hey man, I don't want to ride any of the rides. Marty goes, okay. He goes, I want to ride the boat, I want to ride the train, and I want to go to the jungle. And it was the moment that Marty realized that we've done such a good job with some of our rides that people don't perceive them as rides. And it was that conversation with that guest that got them thinking about, we make attractions and not rides. So every time I see the Mark Twain go by, I think of that guy who didn't see this as a ride.
Yeah.
He saw it as a real riverboat. And that's just the ultimate Walt Disney magic trick.
Well, that's just it. They do such a good job. I think this is one of the places where Disney excels.
Yes.
Is, I mean, you look at this river, and I mean, you're transported.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot tell from looking here that there's a track under this water.
You see no track. You see no really obvious like load, unload. Like it just feels real. This and the railroad do it more convincingly than anything else in the park. And luckily for us, because of how they designed the water system here, this river will never go away.
Yeah, no, for sure it won't. People are so afraid because they see what happened at Walt Disney World, and they think it's going to happen here next. And I'm like, I don't think so.
I don't think they can.
I don't think it's possible, really.
Yeah. And also too, you know, that's where it gets into an interesting thing where like there's so many fans that go, oh man, I really wish they would have built Discovery Bay.
Oh yeah.
Discovery Bay. Do you know that the plans for Discovery Bay meant that the boats were going to get anchored in?
Oh yeah.
The boats would no longer circle around the island. So it's like, yeah, some of those drawings look amazing, and Tony was able to sneak some of that into Paris.
Yeah.
But I don't want the Mark Twain to become, you know,
a paperweight.
Chicken of the sea.
Right? Well, yeah, because what happened to the Chicken of the Sea tuna butt? It went away eventually.
Yeah.
That's the last thing we want. So we'll cruise through here a little bit, and I'm gonna go check out Haunted Mansion Holiday. I mean, unless it's like a 5-minute wait and a walk on, unfortunately we're not gonna be able to ride today because people don't want to hear us talking just standing in line.
No, and that's rude to the people that are waiting in line.
Right, but we'll just go up and look at the outside and see what it looks like on the exterior.
100%.
I mean, it's always freshened up and looks great, but we'll take a look at that today.
It's also fun now because you can kind of go around the backside of it by the railroad and kind of check out some of the extended queue and all that.
Oh yeah. Now I was able to ride the elevator up one time. I was here with some friends where we needed that access. And let me tell you, there's nothing creepier than standing in that elevator while it's going up and hearing, "Hurry back." My friends were like, "Whoa, what was that?"
So you have to do the stretching room in reverse.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's cool.
Well, not the stretching room, but there's a separate ADA elevator now.
Right, the back one here.
Yeah.
Because it used to be back in the day, they had to take people back up the stretching room.
I've used that, yep.
The interesting thing about the stretching room is that it's basically like, it is an elevator because it does go back up, but it could never take the full weight and push it back up. It's like a slow release that goes down.
Right.
So the weight differential on up versus down is insanely different.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
But what a great magic trick.
Yeah.
You got to sneak people out of the park. They'll never see this one coming.
Funny for me.
So I do have to say, and I saw that you guys also talked about this in your Monday article, I was shocked that when I went through the new extended queue, that they decided to not decorate. The decorations don't start until you get to the classic footprint of the attraction.
Right.
And that kind of shocked me that they wouldn't do the decorations in the new extended space.
It kind of makes me wonder if that was just like a thematic issue, or if that was like a, well, we don't have time to design that stuff now. Maybe, you know, in the next couple of years it'll come back up, you know, they'll do something, or
Yeah.
what's the wait time right now? 35 minutes? You know, 35 minutes for Haunted Mansion is not horrible. So if you're here right now, 35 minutes, probably now's the time to ride.
If you're here right now, get off the stream and enjoy Disneyland. Whenever I'm live and people are like, hey, I'm in the park, I'm like, get off the stream now. I'm doing this for people that are at home, not for you.
It's funny because we, you know, towards the end of the stream, we sometimes get a line of people who are like, we're watching right now. And I mean, it's fun to see people when we're here, but it's definitely, we definitely get, with the carriage, with the pumpkins in the carriage.
I love just the ominous music that just plays in the background.
Oh, I do too.
Kind of the thing that amazed me though about the decorations not being in the extended queue is that the extended queue was specifically built for this time of year when it's at its most popular.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting that during the time of year where that became a necessity, they ended it. And when I think about it from a story, imagine being so wealthy that you own this mansion, but you don't have enough scratch to put your decorations on the other side of your yard. Like, no, man, I only start decorating when you get to my second fountain. I can't decorate my first fountain.
Yeah, I would love to see that decorated.
I mean, maybe in due time, you know.
Now, one thing that we did not show on last week's live that has shown up since is over here at Madame Leota's shop. And, you know, going back to, you know, this shop opened up after the extended queue opened up. And there's actually some Halloween theming here.
There is. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Show me the way.
Let's take a look here
I love when a bud points something out that I missed.
Yeah, like that's so crazy.
Oops, sorry guys, excuse us. So the trunks, and there's Sally's hat box, and it's like Jack's
those just
suitcases.
showed up. That's great.
It says, oops, return to Halloween Town, and it's got Jack Skellington's initials on it. And I would assume that's Sally's
I mean, that's
hat box. Yep.
That's great.
When you go inside, the new banner, Madame Leota welcomes Jack Skellington and all of the frightful friends and creepy companions.
Now I have to go back and check my footage from last Friday and be like, were they late or did I miss it?
I think it came a little bit late.
Okay.
So I don't know that you missed much on this one.
I was here opening day and I was so excited to see, did they add anything new to Madame Leota's Bed Bath & Beyond or to the extended queue?
With Madame Leota's Bed Bath & Beyond, I love it.
I think we can make it to Batu.
Yeah.
Inside of our hour stream.
Yeah, we could.
I think we can make it.
Now, one thing I've noticed, I always point this out, this waterfall has been so problematic.
Oh yeah, they're patching that up.
It looks like they've patched it and repainted it. They had it running for a while and you turned it back off again. And
how wild is it when it just looks like Bondo and it's just one color?
Yeah.
And that's when you really see the magic of the painting and the aging that happens over time.
You know, I watched them painting this attraction and just watching the painters just like, you know, what do you call it? Like, they hit the brush, like tap the brush to get those speckles of paint with moss.
They want to get that dither where it's inconsistent. Uh-oh, we've got traffic.
Uh-oh.
We're backed up in the bayou, folks. Rush hour. Seems like a lot of people are trying to check out the band tonight.
Oh, all right, let's get to Batu.
So I was fortunate enough to get to go to Magic Kingdom and do an early preview of Tiana's out there. And so me and my crew show up, and after like the first 30 minutes, it breaks down. And a lot of the people that were there for that early preview, they're like, we're just gonna leave.
Yeah.
But they told us, like, wait around, if we can get it back up, we'll give you guys more time. So me and my crew, we waited around. And then when it came back up, so many people had left that it was our party and like 2 other parties. And we basically owned the bayou for like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And we just rode it on loop over and over and over again. And so I got all my bayou out that day, and I don't ever need to ride it again because, like you, I normally have a small Apple store on my back.
Yep.
And I know that thing is an electronics killer.
You know, this one is for sure. I just rode Tiana's over the weekend in Florida. A bit different. There's a lot of dead space, but the friend that I was with, she kind of reminded me. She's like, it's almost like just kind of a peaceful cruise down the bayou.
Yeah.
And I like that part of it, but it's definitely
one
different.
moves a lot faster.
Yeah, it does.
And it's so narrow that you go by the show scenes at a much faster clip. But I mean, it just goes to show, like, Magic Kingdom is built for volume.
Right.
It's the world's busiest theme park, and everything they put in there has to match that scale.
Yep, absolutely.
At Disneyland, take your time, baby.
Right. But I think you get way wetter on the one here.
Oh my God. Though I rode this one and done. I was, and you know, the opening here was like, what, in December?
Yeah.
So it's not like it gets cold here.
Right.
I've lived in Canada and upstate New York, so I know what real cold is. But being wearing cold jeans or soaked jeans will make any day feel colder than what it is.
You know what? During the event, they were passing out rain gear, and I was so thankful to have rain gear.
Yeah, I've never. That's one of the theme park things I haven't done. I've never put on like the splash jacket to ride an attraction.
Yeah. No, I definitely had my camera bag covered.
Oh, I've definitely gone into a store before and be like, can I have a bag?
Oh, yeah.
And I just point at my camera like, oh yeah, no problem.
I love the hack where people say, if it's raining and you're unprepared, go to one of the stores and ask for a couple plastic bags and put your feet in them and put your shoes on over that.
What do you think's more profitable for Disneyland? The balloon or the rain poncho?
Ooh.
Because both of them is basically selling trash.
Right. But I'm willing to bet you, seeing how many people come off of like Grizzly River or Splash Mountain with ponchos, I bet you ponchos are probably the more lucrative.
They gotta be so cheap to produce.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just like maybe a nickel each.
It's PVC. Yeah. It's stretched out PVC. I mean, and the balloons, they're Disney, but they're sold by third party now.
So walk me through the first time you walked through Galaxy's Edge. Like, how did it feel to you the first time? Because we were adults when it opened up.
Right.
We both were deep in the community. We followed it every week, every month. We went to D23. We saw the model. What did it feel like when you were finally walking through it and Pinocchio was a boy?
Oh, the first time I saw it, I thought, this is cool. I liked, of course, we're waiting in line because you had to have reservations when you first did it.
Yep, that was the beginning of the reservations.
Yep, and seeing Chewie walk down the line greeting guests, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I have video somewhere of Chewie greeting a baby.
Oh, amazing.
And it was one of the coolest interactions I've ever seen. But fairly quickly I realized that there was definitely something missing from the land.
Yeah.
There was, besides characters, because there weren't that many characters at the time.
No.
And there were almost no shows, like no full shows here.
Yes.
We need to see a lightsaber battle. We need to see, the Force being used.
Is that there's that stage where they did that for the media preview.
Right.
like that stage, you know, the Land Speeder Garage, it's designed to be a show space. And
right.
with all these bridges and stages, it's like, how did they build the stage but forget to put the entertainment on it?
I look at the shows from the Galactic Cruiser.
Did you cruise?
I did not. I've only saw it in
I
video.
did it once. It was wild.
And I think, why can't they bring that here?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, they made a decision to put some of it behind the paywall, and
Yes.
we all know how that worked out for them.
Well, just like Oogie Boogie and you know the Christmas party. Yep, absolutely.
I, as somebody who loves the park for maybe a different reason than most, you know, I love it for its design and its aesthetic and sort of its escapism. I absolutely just adore this land. I love it. I love coming here. And I remember walking through here and feeling like, you know, the first time you go to Paris and you're just like, this feels so exotic. It feels so different than anything I've ever experienced. And I remember feeling that going, I'm feeling that way 13 miles from my home.
Yeah.
You know? And
Ahsoka.
one of my memories of the early weeks of Galaxy's Edge was you'd go out into regular Disneyland and it was a ghost town.
Yeah.
Like everybody was back here. And it was the first time I'd ever walked through Disneyland. I'm like, I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
Because I had just got all this new, you know, and I'd like walk past the Haunted Mansion like trash. Because I was like so stimulated by, you know, 14 brand new acres of exploration.
Right. Oh, I love this rock work.
Oh, it's beautiful. And like the way that it goes back to create that infinity level where, you know, this protrudes out, which pushes the emergency exit back.
Right.
Then there's the second level. Second level has that land bridge. So when you look through that keyhole that is created by that land bridge, that's just to make your brain feel like it goes on to infinity. And so like the rocks that are down here in front of us are very rusty and brown and orange. Now when we go to layer 2, they're more khaki. When we go over to layer 4, they're just completely blue and gray.
Yeah.
Because in the real world, the further something is away from us, the more blue it becomes. And like, you see that little tower right there, like the little mushroom tower that's next to that rock that's pointing up?
Yeah.
Everybody, like in the valley on your screen at home? That building here looks like if you walked out on that deck, that bar would go up to you or I's like waistline.
Right.
But if you look at that same building over by the Haunted Mansion, it looks like it's a giant tower that's maybe 6 stories tall that's bringing in flight control. That building's scale changes drastically whether you're in front of it or on the other side of the park. It's phenomenal.
Which is a whole lesson really on force perspective and how they just pull it all together. They did really good on that.
I know you guys go an hour, and I know we're close, but can I show you my favorite view of Galaxy's Edge?
Let's
we
go.
Can say goodbye from there.
We'll get past Ahsoka here.
Okay, when something in Disneyland doesn't make sense, there's a reason. This doesn't make sense. It's not in Hollywood Studios, and that big rock right there is perfectly aligned with it. It is my theory that this land, I know for sure this land was built to hold that third attraction. It is my theory that this is the starting of a bridge that would have taken you over to the other side of that rock.
Ooh.
And they pulled out the budget in the 11th hour, but that doesn't match everything else. And that's a great lesson in Disneyland. When it doesn't fit, there's a reason. And to me, this was the abandoned spot of that start of that bridge.
That's a good theory. I like that.
I can show you other pieces some other time when I get asked back.
Oh, definitely. You'll be asked back. I can guarantee that.
I don't know, man. I made that juicy comment, and that front window, I might have blown my audition.
You know, in fact, I got to say thank you to Cohen Film, who just
Cohen Film. That's one of my homies.
Yeah, he just sent us stars and said thanks for interviewing Brickey, man. Thank you. We really appreciate the gesture and the contribution a lot, and we appreciate all of you here watching us today.
Cohen Films is one of my homies. Thank you so much for showing up, buddy. I appreciate you. Thanks to everybody that's hanging out with us today.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually been such a fun lap with a bud that I often forgot that we were live, which I hope that for people at home, they just felt like that they were the third wheel, a welcome third wheel on this adventure with us.
For sure.
So maybe one time I'll do my video live for you and we'll have a discussion about it.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
This was the loading area for that missing attraction.
Yes. I think I remember hearing that.
And I'll show. I can't stop now.
No. We're gonna go see your favorite view.
I gotta show you, but right over here, there's also like in that ridgeway. If people look at it when they come here on their own, there's a perfect cut for a track to extend over this way.
Oh.
Like it's literally like a smooth. It's not a jagged cut. It's a perfect cut for where the track would have extended.
So now, are you referring to like a land speeder kind of an attraction?
I know the Bantha, where you were going to ride on the creature.
That's okay.
The kinetic energy attraction. Sorry, I should have said it out front.
Like raspberry slushy.
This is one of my favorite places to photograph, also, especially at night.
Oh, it's
the way
great.
it's lit up over here.
It's great. And really, you know, when I walk through here for the first time, I go, oh, this one set piece eliminates ever having a parade in Galaxy's Edge. And that kind of shocked me a lot. All right, so my favorite thing about Disneyland are the keyholes.
Okay.
I love when you take the guests and you force them through a hole.
Yeah.
Because what that gives the designers the ability to do is perfectly for once control your perspective.
Absolutely.
We're going to spin around. I'm going to show you my favorite keyhole. So the way that this is framed, this is the most exotic and most Star Wars that the land looks. So up front, we have the restaurant that was canceled. That's perfectly protruding to us, which pushes Oga's back. Oga has the vertical rockwork that pushes it back even further and creates those vertical sight lines. So because we can see how tall those rocks are in front of us, that makes us think that the rocks behind Oga's go up to infinity.
Yeah.
And then there's another land bridge that just pushes all of that back. And then there's this blue boy hanging right over here.
Yeah.
That blue boy, which is just basically a concrete popsicle, that's designed just to make you feel like right here, this is reality and it goes on forever. The way everything's painted, the patina, the texture. It may not be your favorite land, but you gotta give props that this is an unbelievable view.
It is. No, they did a great job with it.
That's the best view of Galaxy's Edge.
I love your perspective on it. And
I'm all juiced up now. I need to do another hour. I'm just going to go find somebody who's live and like, hey man, can I talk to you for a while?
We'll definitely be doing another one. So one of my other favorite things though is, so we're walking out of the land, right?
Yeah.
And so we're still in Batu, and it's, you know, the lights, the rock work, and then all of a sudden it turns into something that looks almost like a mining tunnel. And then, bam, we're out in the middle of Frontierland, or well, at least the walkway.
I mean, it's a great cross dissolve. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, if I worked on Batu for a decade at Imagineering, and then they threw merch at the end of my tunnel,
oh yeah,
I would be so mad.
Oh yeah.
But I also think it's kind of interesting where like, they're like, hey, John Williams, can you write us some music?
Yeah.
He's like, sure. And you think John comes in with his kids and goes, it's only in the tunnel? And then they cut me off? What's going on? But I mean, the transition, what's up, bud? How you doing? Check out this guy's shirt. This is the best shirt I've seen at the park today. Met my man earlier over in DCA, and I was like, dude, what a shirt.
That's cool.
Good seeing you. But like, when you're on Smuggler's Run and you're looking out the window,
Yeah.
Big Thunder Mountain just sells the story in that space even more.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna find a picturesque spot to wrap up. I think right here would actually probably be good, because I mean, so this is, it's my understanding that this tunnel is one of the original tunnels possibly from the mine train ride, because some of this,
it makes sense because that would shoot you right back to Rainbow Ridge. Dude, the old photos, Frontierland, you know, with Rainbow Ridge just like chilling on the side of the river.
Yeah.
Like, it's so wild looking, man. So
oh yeah, it is. Well, let's see here. Let me turn this around. We're gonna wrap it up. So we just a little bit of overtime today, but we wanted to thank everybody. Brickey, thank you so much for joining me today.
Dude, thank you so much. And if this is your first time meeting me, I hope you enjoyed going around the park with me. I know we didn't really read the chat, which now I'm thinking about it feels a little bit rude, but I hope you had fun.
We'll definitely go back through and look at it and comment, and yeah, absolutely.
Oh, spin around. So anyways, I hope you guys had a really great time. It's in the back of my head. But no, I hope you guys had fun, and thank you so much for having me. Absolutely love Mice Chat, and I always look at Dusty as kind of the OG independent creator. And you know, the Disneyland story is so great. And when I got to meet Leslie Iwerks, I told her, I'm like, you know, what you've done with your documentary series, Imagineering, is you've really pointed out that even though Disney are the greatest storytellers of all time, they don't know how to tell their own story. And I told Leslie, I think, you have the best documented piece of that. But also what I say about Mice Chat is we love this place, but it's so important to learn it from independent media.
Absolutely.
Where you get a balance of opinions, a balance of truth, fact, fiction, folklore. So I really appreciate what you guys do, and to be on the stream tonight is like bucket list for my bizarre Disney journey.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you, Brickey. And guys,
and hey, this guy right here, man,
Ando,
MVP, like fixing our microphones, reading the chat. Like you didn't even know that you didn't even know they have an R2D2 that just cruises behind the live stream.
No, Ando is a great help with us, and he's here almost every week with us, and we love having him around.
I also love that, like, Hondo's always making sure we got credits on Smuggler's Run, right? Oh, a different guy. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
We'll see you guys next time.